projects in addition to youth hostels. In the year 2004, Maharaj completed his master's degree in education. In the year 2006, Maharaj became involved with preaching activities and community development in Cambodia, where he established an NGO called the Global Vernasrama Educational Social Cultural Organization. And he is spearheading a rural community called Jashoda Kaur Ashram. That same year, Maharaj was able to return to India after a long absence of 13 years and spearheaded a rural project in South India called Shahadri Sri Krishna Balaram Khetra, from where courses on Vernasrama College were introduced. He was instrumental in establishing the National Vernasrama Development Committee for India in the year 2007, and in November 2009 was appointed as National Minister for the Doibo Vernasrama Ministry, promoting rural development in India. Maharaj has concentrated his preaching mostly in Asian countries such as India, Indonesia, and Cambodia. He travels extensively and holds seminars promoting the Vernasrama mission. He was authorized several books such as Make Vrindavan Village and Vernasrama Education. So as you all know from his biography, and Maharaj's focus is on Vernasrama. We all know that our Dharma is also known as Vernasrama. Let's hear, it's a really, eye-opening lectures from Maharaj. We just hear from Edmonton also. Let's everybody, one more time, welcome Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa, Privrajagasaja Stotra Satta, Sri Simadhi's Divine Grace, Shiraboy Charanarvani Bhakti Vedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, ISKCON BBT Founder Acharya's Divine Grace Sri Prabhupada ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki, Samaveta Bhakti Vrinda ki, Harinam Sankirtan ki, Grantaraya Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jai Nitai Gaura Pimanam. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru, to Sri Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manopistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone may kindly fold their hands and repeat after me. Two mantras that we will recite together. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 The second mantra is less known, so you have to hear attentively. And that's our process. We hear nicely, then we can recite nicely. Again, folded hands. Om Shri Surabhyai Namaha. 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 Mukham karoti vasaram tvangum nangayate girim. Yat kripat maham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Yat kripat maham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. So I'm very happy to be here after quite some time, but not as long as, I was away from Edmonton for many more years than Calgary. it's always my pleasure to stop and visit some of these temples that have been established since many years and meet some of our old friends who have been serving in these temples. And of course this year, it is a special year for all of us, being ISKCON's Golden Jubilee. It's our birthday. It's everyone's birthday, actually. So we should be happy. It's like when somebody has a birthday, everyone's happy. And it is, of course, those who have been in the movement for a number of years, especially this special year of the Golden Jubilee. So many wonderful events are taking place all over the world to commemorate. It's rather phenomenal, and especially if you get an opportunity to hear if you get an opportunity to hear some of the, we could call it first wave devotees, those who were there, I'm talking about 1967, 1968, and who were directly with Srila Prabhupada. There's a whole series, actually very wonderful. It's called Memories. Some of you might have been listening to that. And I mean, practically every disciple of Srila Prabhupada who has expressed on these videos just so many wonderful, amazing anecdotes. And it's actually, it is not less than a miracle, you know, what our founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, has accomplished, what he continues to accomplish as well, even though he is not physically present. It's like Krishna explains, or it is part of our Acharya's explanation. Krishna and Krishna's teachings are non-different. So Srila Prabhupada and his teachings are also non-different. We come in contact with the pure devotees through their Vani, isn't it? Vani is even more important, we are told, than the Vapu, than the physical presence or association. So amidst all the ups and downs, because we are still in Kali Yuga after all, we are heading towards Satya Yuga. That is a prediction of our Shastra, that the Lord Chaitanya's movement is meant to usher in, isn't it, a golden era. The golden avatar, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is setting the scene, has been setting the scene since his appearance 500 plus years ago for, and of course one of the major developments and events that have taken place in the more recent years has been what our founder Acharya, His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, has accomplished. Totally unthinkable. I mean, no less than not only one miracle, but many miracles. many, many miracles. And when we stop, as we should, on this very special occasion of our 50th anniversary, then we can begin to understand that this is a major step, you know, the establishment of ISKCON. And I'm just coming from Ukraine just a few weeks ago. They have every year this, what is called the Bhakti Sangam Festival. And they have no less than, you know, 5,000–6,000 devotees coming together at one place. 3 years ago they had something like 12,000 devotees. You know, 12,000 devotees chanting and dancing in unison, it is like, it's Vaikuntha. It's Goloka. It's the spiritual world. So this is our mission. In different places around the world, of course, the movement is developing at different levels, different stages. But we should know, again, even though there are ups and downs, and it's natural, we should know that actually the movement of Lord Chaitanya, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and the mercy of all the devotees who are assisting in whatever different way, His Divine Grace, is making this movement an established movement that will be here, that is here to stay. Very wonderful report, or on the occasion of the Golden Jubilee by, the Prime Minister of India. I think many of you might have read. Both the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, and also the President have, in a very wonderful way, glorified this society, have glorified Srila Prabhupada especially. And so we should be very proud, and we should be very optimistic. We still have many things to do, and as a matter of fact, what I'd like to share with you is touching on a dimension of our movement which is yet to manifest the way that Srila Prabhupada desired and expected. I would like to share with you some of the statements made by Srila Prabhupada in reference to what he referred to as 50% of his unfinished mission. 50%. 50% of anything is quite a lot. Practically everyone within our ISKCON society knows, understands that there is this very big area of unfinished work. And it is, especially I would say on this occasion of the Golden Jubilee, we should all, because as members of this society, we should all make an effort to try and understand how we can take up this particular dimension. Now, on our way here, I was sharing a little bit something that I didn't mention in Edmonton, but I feel it's very important that every single member of ISKCON understand how Srila Prabhupada way back in the 30s, I mean, this goes back a lot. We're going back a century, and at the beginning of that century, in actually it was 1949, and again in 1956, there's a very famous essay written by Srila Prabhupada, very less known even to this day, that appeared in his Back to Godhead magazine. And that essay was entitled Gita Nagari. We have today, as we know in North America, Gita Nagari farm. What many people may not know, we have in Indonesia also another community that started about 17 years ago, also named Gita Nagari. Its name is actually Gita Nagari Baru. Baru is Indonesian, it means new. So New Gita Nagari. And that community has come up over the years with, at present, some 40 families, over 150 devotees, with their school, etc. So Gita Nagari, Srila Prabhupada, in that essay, he spoke about four movements within our larger movement of the Hare Krishna movement, isn't it? So those four movements will help us understand the main topic that I will be speaking on this evening, and on which the video is basically based. So the first movement, Prabhupada, these are Prabhupada's own words. He coined it as the Sankirtan movement, referring to two things, referring to the holy name and referring to books, transcendental literatures. He spoke about his books as being like Brihat Mridanga, isn't it? An extension of the holy name. The holy name can only go around a block or two, but the books can go all over the world, and they have been. So Sankirtan movement, introducing the holy name and introducing transcendental literature. Second movement, Prabhupada spoke about deity worship movement. So we have all over the world. Prabhupada himself began in New York, as we know, first center, first temple, then San Francisco, the third here in Canada, in Montreal, like that. Yeah. Establishing temples, installing deities, deity worship movement, the very word Prabhupada used. Third movement, Prabhupada called it spiritual initiation movement. Spiritual initiation movement corresponds to what we have within our ISKCON society as congregational preaching. How to train individuals and prepare them so that they can become qualified to receive initiation and become formal members of Krishna's family. That's spiritual initiation movement. And then the fourth movement can be a little misleading by the words that Prabhupada has given, but with a little explanation we can all understand it quite easily. Prabhupada called the fourth movement classless society movement. Classless society movement. But when he stated classless society movement, simultaneously he said the fourth movement is classless society movement with 4 varnas and 4 ashramas. Only somebody like Prabhupada could say that. Because classless, we think, well, there's no class, right? But classless needs to be understood in the following way, that every member of that society, whether it is any of the varnas and any of the ashrams, their focus is all on the same place. Means the focus is on the lotus feet of the Lord. The focus is on practicing devotional service to Krishna. So in this way, everyone, even if somebody may be a Brahmana, somebody may be a Vaishya, whatever position within the social system, everyone is equally serving the Lord. Everyone has equal opportunity to serve the Lord. Everyone has equal opportunity to become a pure devotee of the Lord. Because Vaishnava is someone who's practicing devotional service, is naturally above in terms of consciousness all of these material designations. But for the purpose of society functioning, one accepts different positions. So within our ISKCON society, mostly if we look at our different temples all over the world, our city temples, most of our temples are in the cities. We have been able to, basically we're operating on the first 3 of the 4. We have yet to manifest the 4th one. And the 4th one is not only meant to be manifest, let's say, in rural areas, but also those in the cities need to understand and to also be engaged and involved. So in order to help bring about this awareness, this ministry that we have in India, this was mentioned a few minutes ago, in year 2009, the leadership in India established what is known today as IDVM. IDVM means ISKCON Daiva Vernasrama Ministry. And in view of the Golden Jubilee event that was coming up, we decided in India to inaugurate what is called the Om Sri Surabhi campaign. Now this is something very, very important. As a matter of fact, the video is the theme of the video is on the Om Sri Surabhi campaign. And that's why I had everyone repeat, there's a mantra, just like we have mantra to glorify Krishna, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and that is, of course, the Mahamantra. But there's also a mantra to glorify Mother Cow, Mother Surabhi. The original cow is named as Surabhi. All cows actually come from this original cow in the spiritual world, Surabhi, you see. That's a very big topic, actually. We'll just touch on a few things. But what's important for us, for all of us to know and to understand, is that our Vedic culture stands or is supported by what is called cow culture. Our Brahminical culture, isn't it? Vedic culture is only possible when there are qualified individuals known as Brahmanas who can spread this culture. But the Brahminical culture is not possible unless there are cows, isn't it? The Brahmanas actually depend on cows for performing all of their activities. And therefore, in many places, we were reading one verse earlier today, Go Vipra, that verse is in the, I think, 8th canto. Go Vipra Sura Sadhanam. Go means cow, Vipra, Brahmana. Sura means devotees, as opposed to asuras. And sadhunam, anyone who's practicing spiritual life. So, Krishna is, as we know, extremely close to cows and the whole Vedic culture. This is something we are not understanding in modern day society especially, and we should see it as a major deviation as well. In other words, Vedic culture without the presence of cows in our lives, in our daily lives, it is not Vedic culture. If we want to identify ourselves as being part of and members of Vedic culture, then we have to bring back actually the glories of Mother Cow, even for those who are living in the cities. So I would like to actually, I should mention that in this campaign we're going around in different countries trying to present this information, to share this information, and to solicit individuals, to invite individuals to become part of this campaign. The campaign is not simply about cows. The campaign is about the whole Vedic culture. And we cannot introduce that Vedic culture, we cannot properly practice that Vedic culture unless we have the cows in place. And unless, for example, in Indonesia, we have 28 places where devotees look after cows. And they have started to have a Go Puja. You know, Go Puja, we don't hear about it very much in our cities, but Go Puja is something that Krishna does every day. Krishna worships his cows every day. In villages in India, even now, in the more remote villages, the lady of the house, this is important for our ladies to hear, it is a responsibility of the lady of the house, Matajis, to actually care for the cows, wash the cows, and worship the cows every day. This is an integral part of our Vedic culture. Worshipping the cows, circumambulating the cows. There's so many wonderful prayers actually all over in so many parts of our Vedic literatures, whereby it mentions that every day when we rise, we should remember cows, and every day before taking rest. You know, because when we think of cows, we will also more easily think about Krishna, because Krishna is always with his cows, isn't it? So Srila Prabhupada spoke very heavily also as to the, you know, very unfortunate and pathetic condition of mother cow all over the world, to such an extent that I'll just bring up a few of those so that you can hear it directly from Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada actually, at one point, he explained, I want to come to India and I want to go to the villages in India. I want to travel in the villages of India to give moral and spiritual support, and whatever support they need, because if our villages, not only in India, all over the world, if our villages, as it is happening now, come to the point of no longer existing, that means that the cows will not be there, and it means that actually society is finished. And we are on that, we're in that direction right now. Prabhupada calls it suicidal policies that are being followed and enacted all over the world. I will just bring up some of these quotes from Srila Prabhupada. And actually, I should mention also that there's really a lot of information, and we are adding every day, every week. We have taken a vow, a pledge, our ministry in India, to present a new interview video of different members of our society every week on our website. So you can find, if you visit our website, that will be showing at the end of of our presentation. You can see both a PowerPoint as well as a video that explains some aspect of this whole 50% of the Vernasrama mission. So this is what Srila Prabhupada, let's see if this will come up. Yeah, it's coming up. This is one of these weekly PowerPoint presentations. I'll just read a few. This is our Om Sri Surabi campaign. That is actually an initiative of two ministries. The first one I mentioned. And what I didn't mention, of course, is that it's a 12-year campaign, which means it's giving all of you enough time to join the campaign, but don't wait till the end of the campaign. It's 12 years actually, because Srila Prabhupada's preaching activities were conducted over a 12-year period. And just like this year, we're celebrating, you know, ISKCON's Golden Jubilee. It was registered 50 years ago. But for the next 10 years, there are going to be so many Golden Jubilee events that we can celebrate, and in this way it can become an incentive and inspiration for all of us and for other people in society to understand that, wow, you know, this movement that was started, established by this personality, Srila Prabhupada, is very, very important and is meant to have impact on everyone in society. So it's an initiative of our ministry, and the second ministry is Ministry for Cow Protection and Agriculture that we have also in India. In India we have these two national ministries. And most countries don't have national ministries, we have global ministries. But India, yeah, India is India, is special. It has these two national ministries. And I'll just speak or show some of the quotes from the number one. But as you can see, you know, the campaign has short-term and long-term objectives, etc. It has coordinators that we are selecting in different places. This is the first quote from Srila Prabhupada. This Krishna consciousness movement is for the protection of Brahminical culture and cows. Then automatically the peace of the world will come if these two things are done. Actually, they go hand in hand. We cannot have brahmanas without cows, and cows cannot be there without brahmanas. They are our Shastras explain how these two members of society, they are part of the same family. Why they are part of the same family? Because brahmanas are in the mode of goodness and cows are in the mode of goodness. And when we stop and think about it, you know, it's Krishna's genius to have put Mother Cow as such a central part of society, of the Vedic culture, because every day, actually, every single family is meant to interact with cows. What we're trying to do right now in our campaign is to get the point across to each and every single temple that each and every single temple should have a cow serving Krishna. At present, we're not doing that. In other words, we should be serving to Krishna pure, wholesome milk from protected cows. We should be serving the Lord food that is grown by devotees and that is wholesome food. We're not doing that in most places because we've compromised, because we have a very difficult situation actually. So, you know, when we begin to understand what the standard was and what the standard is meant to be, that actually every family should have cows. At least we can begin by having every temple having a cow. Now, okay, cities all over the world have all kinds of regulations. You can't have a cow. But, you know, you can, Krishna can inspire you, just like he did for our devotees in San Jose in California. San Jose is a city. But the devotees were really conscious of the importance of, you know, getting wholesome milk. So what they did, they made friends with a local farmer who's been having, you know, organic farm for the last 20 years, and they asked him, can we keep a cow on your land? He agreed. So they're keeping a cow on his land, and they're getting milk that they can offer to the Lord every day. In English, there's a saying, when there's a will, there's a way. Isn't it? If we have a strong desire, Krishna will inspire us how to actually come to the proper standard. We, society all over the world, we are killing ourselves because we are agreeing to take food that is actually poisonous. Most of the food, commercial food that we buy. How many of our Matajis here are cooking in pure ghee every day? Raise your hands. A few, very good. But majority are not. Because, of course, you know, we have many good reasons in that where to find pure ghee. Practically speaking, unless you have your own cow, you can't have pure ghee, you know. So, but here again, you know, if one has a strong desire, one can arrange. Because Prabhupada, all the commercial oil that we're using right now is actually very bad for the system. All of the food that we're getting, commercial food, is been grown using all kinds of chemical fertilizers, chemical pesticides. We know that. And it is estimated that 80% of the value in food is no longer present today. Because of the soil the soil has lost its potency. You know, something comes out, but there's no substance to it, practically speaking. So, you know, Prabhupada was telling us these things 40 plus years ago. Every single temple should have a farm community, should inspire and educate and train some of the devotees to produce, you know, produce food for the Lord, produce wholesome food that will then go to our families, to our children. Our children are not getting wholesome milk. How they will develop physically, how their brain will develop, how they will develop spiritually, because pure wholesome milk is necessary to develop cells that can help us understand spiritual subject matters, you see. I mean, everything is very, very scientific. So, here's another quote, that the killing of cows by human society is one of the grossest suicidal policies, and those who are anxious to cultivate the human spirit must turn their attention first toward the question of cow protection. How can we serve Krishna if we're not serving Krishna's cows? Isn't it? Just one or two more quotes here. Therefore the world is suffering so much sinful activities. The greatest sinful activity is cow slaughter, and they are committing. There should be a thorough overhauling of the social system, and society should revert to the Vedic principles, that is, the 4 Varnas and the 4 Ashramas. And Prabhupada was telling this to people in America. We're part of people in America, you know, US and Canada and Mexico, the 3 countries that make up North America. Prabhupada wanted that Americans, because his first disciples largely were Americans, that they not only introduce and train people to become Brahmanas, but also Kshatriyas. And then, after that, also Vaishyas, Shudras. Of course, you know, we have that in India and all over the world also. People have all kinds of misunderstandings about Vernasrama, and rightly so, because Vernasrama as a social body and system has been misused and abused for hundreds of years, going back to the time of Lord Buddha. Lord Buddha actually established the principle of ahimsa, established Buddhism, because way back at that time, the Brahmanas were misusing, you see. So it is a tremendous task, and it reminds us of maybe about 150 years ago, when Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, as a young man, at that time actually Vaishnavism was not popular. As a matter of fact, most people who were practicing what they call Vaishnavism, they were sahajas. They were misusing the term. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, part of his great accomplishment was to turn the tide, so to speak, and that he re-established the glories of Vaishnavas. In a similar way, part of our task, and I mean 50% of our mission, of Srila Prabhupada's mission, is to re-establish the glories of Varnasrama. Prabhupada has stated, I'm sure you've read it, human civilization begins when Varnasrama is there. We are considered civilized only when we follow the principles of Varna and Ashrama. The principles of Varna and Ashrama are meant to be a stepping stone for us to become spiritual, to become Vaishnavas, are a means by which we can more easily become Vaishnavas. Actually, it's a very big topic. just one or two more quotes before we go to our video here. Yeah, this is the last one actually from the Mahabharata. Tratavya pratamam magava trataha trayanti ta dvijan go brahmana paritrane paritratam jagat bhavet. Which means that first of all, cows should be protected. Cows, thus protected, will in turn protect the brahmanas. Thus, when protection of cows and brahmanas is achieved, then the whole world is protected. This is from Mahabharata. So, you know, cows, the presence of cows, our dealings with cows, the protection of cows, it is not simply a question of farmers. It's not just for Vaishyas. In the Vedic culture, every single member, you know, including the Brahmanas, including the Kshatriyas, everyone within the social system is dealing every day with cows. So Prabhupada, I mean, we go back, Prabhupada spoke about the village organization, and he was referring to Gandhi. Gandhiji was very strong on this point, and Prabhupada appreciated that also. I mean, a number of things Prabhupada was not approving in terms of Gandhi, who really did not properly understand Bhagavad Gita. He wrote one book, for example, My Experiments with the Absolute Truth. Well, you know, you don't experiment with the Absolute Truth. The Absolute Truth is the Absolute Truth, and one receives it. Prabhupada explains that although Gandhi was very pious, he never accepted Guru. He never took shelter of a spiritual master. So, you know, that is not in Guru Parampara. That is not following a very basic instruction that is there. And that is right there in the Bhagavad Gita, you know, Tadvidi pranipatina pariprashnena sevaya upadekshati te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. If you want to know about tattva, you have to approach Guru. Yeah. So, but Prabhupada appreciated his statements regarding village life, and also his statements regarding, you know, avoiding to become industrialized. Our problem today, especially, we are living in the age of machines, and we have become very addicted to machines. And there's a whole plan to addict more and more people to machines, and to bring more and more people in the cities, you see. So, I'll just stand on this point, actually. The present trend, which is a global trend all over the world, the present trend, I'm sure I mean, it's obvious, is towards increased urbanization. More and more people all over the world are leaving villages. And actually, if we analyze this from a Krishna conscious point of view, this is a Dharma. This is based on a Dharma principles. So, so there's a real need for all of us, all members of our ISKCON society, to try and somehow connect with this whole dimension, this fourth, we call it, one of our books that we came out with is called the fourth wave, or the fourth movement. And everyone, including those who are living in our cities, has a part to play by becoming more conscious of the central role of Mother Cow, because actually the basis, again, the basis of our culture, the backbone of the Vedic culture are actually cows, and therefore we can rightly refer to the Vedic culture as a cow culture. Small example, which is extremely important actually in the whole concept of Vedic culture. Economy, when we're speaking about economy, of the four sciences that are given in the, what is it? Chanakya Pandit has written a book that describes, is referred to as Arthashastra. And within that book, he explains about 4 basic sciences. The fourth of those sciences is the science of economics. Actually, when we begin to study traditional knowledge, traditional education, that's why traditional education, that's why Gurukula, that's why Vernasrama college is very important, because it's only within a Gurukula setting that one can receive what is called traditional education. So the 4 sciences that have been followed since time immemorial cover all the knowledge that we may need, both of a spiritual dimension and also material dimension. So the first of those 4 sciences is referred to as the science of philosophy. And that science of philosophy is broken down in three levels. One of them is yoga. One of them is what is called tarka, or logic, you see. So this first science, science of philosophy, is meant for the 3 prominent members of society who are meant to be the leaders in society. They're called the Dvijas. The Dvijas means the Brahmanas, the Kshatriyas, and the Vaishyas. So the second science is actually the science for the Brahmanas, which is the science of knowledge, which is found in 14 standard books of knowledge. Srila Prabhupada in the purport of the Bhagavad Gita refers to these 14 books of knowledge, beginning with the 4 Vedas. This is actually the actual curriculum. That is the second science, science of knowledge that is meant to be taken up by Brahmanas. The third science is called the science of politics, which is the science for Kshatriyas, leaders, the science of governance, how to organize society, how to protect society. These are the 3 activities of Kshatriyas. They are meant to protect, physically protect, and also protect in terms of the principles of Dharma. They're meant, secondly, to administer, and they will administer based on the science of the Varnas and Ashramas. And number 3, they're meant to provide assistance or welfare in times of need, you see. So that is the third science. And the fourth science, which is totally unknown today, although everyone speaks about economics and everyone is very much interested in economics, but the fourth science is the science of economics according to our Shastra, according to our Acharyas, which is summarized in the 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita as Krishi Goraksha Vanijam. Krishi Goraksha Vanijam, agriculture, cow protection, and trade based on these 2 activities of agriculture and cow protection. This is the has been the standard science of economy. If one wants to have sustainable economy, this is the activity that one should take up. And that's why, because we're not doing this in modern day society, that's why we have such a chaotic condition. That's why we have global financial crisis, isn't it? So in other words, our acharyas, the brahmanas, who are the teachers within the Vedic culture, have all of this knowledge that is meant to be shared. So therefore, Prabhupada's plan was to establish a class of brahmanas who could then introduce this knowledge, train people to be proper leaders in society, etc., etc. So again, it comes back to brahmanas and cows. Yeah, brahmanas and cows. This documentary, we showed it, that we're going to see now. We showed it on the 1st of January, that was 2015, because we started the campaign 1 year before the Golden Jubilee, since that was the year that Prabhupada, went to America. Prabhupada went to America in 1965, so 50 years after that is 2015. So I want to show this video, and then we'll have a little bit of time for some possible questions or discussions. There's a fair amount of literature. We have pamphlets, we have, books as well, that give more information, which is available on our website. I think for better viewing, we should close the lights. Somebody can do that. And we'll just test the sound here, a small second, to make sure that we have good sound. I don't see sound. Yeah, it was showing like that, and I couldn't figure out why. Normally it's supposed to go. Machines, wonderful machines. When I travel to different places, I try to find someone responsible who can receive some of the data or information we've been accumulating. We've been accumulating all kinds of data or information that includes PowerPoints, that includes also videos and bulletins, etc. like that. So in other words, because I'm leaving tomorrow, if anyone would like, for example, a copy of this particular video or other literature, or if anyone would like to be involved in this campaign, and actually every temple should be, then I'll be happy to speak with you and share some of this information. There's a little technical something. Oh, that way, huh? You'll just all have to be very attentive. Something with the sound. Okay.
How about the put light there? Yeah, put that light.
The speaker is in the, there's no speaker.
So we go with this? Yeah, we have no choice.
Small one to the Maharaj. Hey, Maharaj.
Just in case, yeah. This is close enough? Don't break my computer. Om Sri Sarabhyaya Namaha. Second Avenue, beginning Papa's movement, America, Sridhar Mayapur. Sridhar Mayapur, Ki Jai. Jai Shri Prabhupada Ki. It is everyone's responsibility and it is our duty our swadharma, what is meant to be natural, This is one of our projects in South India, near Udupi. Mother Cow is actually our universal mother, but not recognized at present. Yes, advanced civilization is. Mother Earth takes the form of cow. So cow is our mother too. And bull is our father. Represents Dharma, religiosity. Cow gives us milk, butter, and ghee. And Father Bull loves to plow the earth. But at present, they both end up in slaughterhouses. And when they are slaughtered, the society starts to crumble from its core. These greatly sinful acts are responsible for all the troubles in the present society of Srimad Bhagavatam. Cows are housed under inhospitable conditions, diseased and dilapidated. Calves are weaned from their mother right after birth so that we can drink their milk.
The present human society is so ungrateful and rascal that they are killing cows. So Krishna comes to punish them, these rascals. On the cows, they are too much troubled by this rascal demand. And Krishna comes, Yada Yada Dharma Savyani Bhavadivan, Abhuttana Dharma, these are all dharmas. Protection to the cow. It is not protection to the cow. They are killing the cow. How it can happen in society? Cows must be protected. It is so important animal. It is giving you the nectaring food, milk, and from milk you can save your children, you can save your diseased person. How it is there? You take the cow's milk and send it or slaughter out. This is not at all human civilization.
There is only one option. I repeat to you, only one option left to climatologists and scientists, and that is to do the unthinkable and to use livestock, bunched and moving, as a proxy for former birds and predators and mimic nature. There is no other alternative left to mankind. So let's do that. And look at the amazing change in this one, where that gully has completely healed using nothing but livestock mimicking nature.
Vernasrama Dharma is so essential that people living in suffering, therefore they should be brought into such a one that the establishment of Vernasrama. We have become totally disconnected with the basis and the pillars of Dharma, which are cows. Dharma begins with the protection of cows. When we cut out, when we become disconnected with cows, as we have, in the cities, living in the cities means we are disconnected with cows. We no longer look after cows. We no longer see cows. We no longer think about cows. We no longer care about cows. If we no longer care about cows, what's Krishna going to care about us? Krishna is constantly meditating on his cows. Krishna worships every day his cows. Krishna cannot live without cows. How can we manage to live without cows? The Brahminical culture cannot be established without cows. Krishna consciousness cannot be practiced without cows. How are we managing to practice our Krishna consciousness without cows? We must ask ourselves these questions.
Raghava Swami ki jai.
Jai Sri Prabhupada ki jai. As I mentioned earlier, there's all kinds of information that is available on our website that came up. This causes, yeah. Anyone have any comments or questions about? Yeah, I see a hand up back there.
I have a strange question. Like we went to that New Vrindavan.
What was that?
I recently visited New Vrindavan.
Okay.
And like they have a nice cow protection program.
Yep.
And then they have a nice pasture for the cows.
Yes.
Is that land that they have no different than Govardhan Hill? Because it looks like Govardhan Hill.
Yes.
I don't know. And it's the service of those cows is in the Lord's service as well.
Yes.
But is it like strange to...
Well, Srila Prabhupada, the question is, for those who may not have heard it, I was able to hear it from here, so I suppose everyone heard it. Srila Prabhupada gave the name New Vrindavan, because he desired that we create Vrindavan, that we recreate Vrindavan, not only Vrindavan atmosphere. There's a nice instruction in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that begins with Sadhu Sangha, Nama Kirtan, Bhagavata Sravana, Mathurabhasa Srimurtira, Svadhaya Sevana, Sakala Sadhana Shrestha, E Pancha Anga, Krishna Prema Janamaya, E Pancha Ralprasanga. So the 5 most important of the 64 items of devotional service, the 5 most powerful activities are the 5 that are mentioned, beginning with Sadhu Sangha. So the 4th one is Mathurabhasa. Mathurabhasa means the following 3 things. Number 1, if one has opportunity to visit Mathura, Vrindavan, and stay there, that's wonderful. But flights are very expensive. And we have all kinds of responsibilities back home. So very few people can do that. Second option is to, we can avail of that opportunity to live in Mathura by developing the atmosphere of Mathura. Anyone, everyone in our homes, by having an altar at home, by having pictures of Govardhan, by having some cows on the altar, etc., by chanting the holy name, etc., we create, and that atmosphere of Mathura, Vrindavan, is such that we can carry that atmosphere wherever we go, isn't it? The third way to actually manifest Mathura is to create places like New Vrindavan, which is something that Prabhupada wanted. Actually, the whole world is meant to be like that. Therefore, Prabhupada, at times he would say, make Vrindavan. Make like Vrindavan. Make at least the atmosphere of Vrindavan, and if it is possible, you make a place where there will be cows that you can serve every day. So yes, Prabhupada actually, he mentioned that New Vrindavan is as good as Vrindavan. Not only New Vrindavan, any place where devotees are living, practicing Krishna consciousness. And of course, when we have like some land, then even more so we can see and serve the cows. We can grow our food and offer that wholesome food to the Lord. So these are 3 ways that we can actually realize and make Mathura Vrindavan a reality in our lives every single moment of the day. Because ultimately, isn't it, our goal is to go back to that original Goloka, Vrindavan. And the more we practice now, it's like it won't be a major transition. We'll already be living in Vrindavan. So it is very much an important instruction and important objective of our society to create Vrindavan. To create Vrindavan. Prabhupada explained that our temples, they're not ordinary buildings. Our temples are oases, spiritual oases. Spiritual is a spiritual world, because the Lord is here. The devotees are here. Devotional service is practiced, etc. Any other question, comment? doubt.
Lots of doubts.
So our humble request actually is, please visit this website. We have two websites. The one that appeared at the end of the documentary, srisurabi.org, is especially giving information about this Surabi campaign. And then we have another one that's called iskonvarnasrama.com, iskonvarnasrama.com, which is broader, more general, giving various kinds of information. For example, another pledge we took was to visit 108 villages. So we've covered already 92 villages in India, helping village people, because village people, one village our devotees visited. One village, more than one actually, 90% of the people were drunk. Because people are, feel abandoned, and they are in many ways. So they need the support of devotees. They need Krishna consciousness in so many different ways. They need all of these things, yeah. So I'm going to pass this mic on to who? Yes, thank you very much.